of Mother Earth. What is the song of life? What is the color of joy? How do I build my nest in nature? Seeing a fresh dewdrop on a leaf, feeling the soil beneath your feet, a squirrel running down a branch as it nibbles on a fruit, the breeze that makes the tree sway, the smaller things that leaves a lasting memory. Nature is old and wise. Every day, it teaches me a new meaning of life. Build an asset out of nature. See how it takes care of you in turn. A green asset that will always grow and never stops giving. Rejuvenate yourself and earth while regenerating the world around you. The joy of owning your own farm, the experience of watching it grow, the gift of a cherished life. Farm your way into your green future. Own, grow, cherish.
Whatever. What a fantastic visual that was. Hi, my name is Vinayak Joshi. Wondering who I am? My name is pretty popular to a lot of people who know me as an actor, anchor. If not, I'm introducing myself very humbly over here. Again, I'm a dear friend of Team Hosachiguru. I'm so glad to be here today because this is a fantastic event, not one or two. The number is 22. I'll tell you later what it is about. Hosachiguru is a pretty unique company by itself. A lot of people call it a property company, but I call it a lifestyle company, a lifestyle based company which will help you adapt sustainable living in today's concrete jungle. Let me take pride in introducing the work that goes behind all the process that you see here at Hosachiguru. We have not one, but two videos lined up for you, which will help you understand the behind the scenes of Team Hosachiguru. There you go. Please take a look at it.
I know a lot of us have this dream of owning a farmland, growing our own fruits and vegetables, a place where our kids can connect with nature, a weekend home, or a perfect place to retire, an opportunity to create a legacy. How can I fulfill this dream? I can't just buy land and turn it into a farm. Picking the perfect land is an art, or in fact science. Farming requires experience.
Two videos back to back.
Like, the perfect location may not have the best water source. A location with ample water source may not have clear documents. And just when you tick all the boxes, the soil quality of the land may not be suitable for cultivation. Okay, let's just skip all this for a moment and imagine you bought a land, finding the right labor source, managing the farm, irrigation, and so many unseen challenges. When we imagine all this, we go back to thinking, is owning a farm a far-fetched dream? I was there too. But what if experts could handle this? Not just someone who claims to be an expert, but real experts who come with a decade of experience. Experience can't be learned. One can only learn from experience. With a decade of experience in managed farmlands and over 20 plus completed projects, and more than 1 million trees planted, 1,000 plus happy co-farmers, 10 goshalas managed. Let's know more about the pioneers of managed farmlands. To make a bowl of salad from the veggies grown in my own farm, a lot goes behind it. Let's see how Hosachiguru cherry picks the land. Hosachiguru surveys the land, understands the topography, verifies the legal documents, checks the land size, location, water availability, and do a thorough environmental analysis. From helping you identify native to adaptable species, from testing the soil health to the source and quality of seeds, finding the power feasibility for irrigation, to identifying skillful local labor. What distinguishes Hosachiguru from any other managed farmland is that when you buy land with Hosachiguru, you're not just a customer, you are a co-farmer. I learned that growing life, managing it, and making it self-sufficient isn't easy. It's not just about trees lined up in a row. It is about allowing them to grow and flourish. And to achieve this, it takes a team of passionate and dedicated professionals. Hosachiguru has a team of agronomists who come with vast experience. They apply proven farming techniques like Perma Culture to agroforestry. They even assist you in picking the right crops, mixing it up with multi-crops so that your soil is enriched for the generations to come. It is a proven fact that when tended with care, nature responds positively. Now imagine watching your farmland from the comfort of your home with the mobile app. Sounds like a science fiction?
And then we'll move into the 20 plus plots.
Hosachiguru believes in enabling their urban co-farmers with cutting-edge technology through the My Farm app. You can track the progress of ongoing farming activities. Book your retreat stay, get support at your fingertips. Engage with the co-farmer community. Manage your own farmhouse. Track documentation and payments easily. If this sounds amazing to you already, Hosachiguru takes it to the next level. What if the produce from your farm could reach your home? Hosachiguru pushes the boundaries and finds new innovative ways to align with nature.
Ready? Stand by.
Look, it is not
Full
just
swing.
an
Ready?
investment.
Let's go.
It is the way of living and cherishing green life.
That's a fantastic video. Thank you, Meghna, for the fantastic video. We have an entire team working here for today's broadcast. And with me right now is one of the founder members, the chairman of Hosachiguru. 30 plus years of experience in this corporate industry. And it involves companies like Bemel, L&T, Tech Mahindra. And later on, he moves into agriculture and starts a new chapter by himself. One of the founder members, Mr. Ashok Jayanti, is with me. Very good evening.
Namaskara.
Namaskara, sir.
Good evening.
Ever smiling. He's got that smile on his face. So I just saw some numbers on the screen in those videos.
Yes.
1 million saplings, more than 1,000 co-farmers, a revolutionary app, My Farm app that can connect farmers remotely from wherever they are.
Correct.
Such an innovative product by itself. So tell me, the first sapling when you planted for Hosachiguru, what was your feeling?
Oh, that was great. We actually celebrated, I vividly remember today also, we celebrated the whole family we had taken to the farm and we cherished the experience. We went on to do that first sapling, planting.
That's fantastic. So you call Hosachiguru as food forest, right? So more than 1 million trees have been planted today. Saplings have been planted today in all these food forests. So what is the amount of pride that you carry for planting 1 million saplings?
It was very amazing. We never thought we will reach this milestone in such a fast manner. And when we started, we had a vision to do big, but not so fast. But I think the environment and the co-farmers helped us gallop our vision very fast.
Fantastic. So when I was having a conversation in Kannada with him, he says, ನಮ್ಮ ಹೊಸಚಿಗುರು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ನ ಸಸ್ಯ ಶ್ಯಾಮಲ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ನೀವು. Having said that, not 1 or 2, 22 is the number. We are celebrating 22 projects. Today is the unveiling of 22nd project of Hosachiguru.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's called Madhuvana. Madhu is sweet. Vana means forest. That's what I know. Could you please tell us more about Madhubana? What is the idea behind Madhubana Farms?
Good. As you said, Vinayak, it is 22nd project for us. Very enthralling experience for us. The project is about 100 acres of lush green
Mhm.
mango plants, about 20,000 of them standing there proudly.
Mhm.
And this project is very close to the savanna grasslands.
Mhm.
So the customers get to get the combination of savanna grasslands
Mhm.
and agroforestry what we are creating.
Mhm.
And this gives a unique experience for them to look at the black bugs which are walking
Wow.
away into the sunset in the evenings.
Uh-huh.
And it will be a paradise for people who love photography like you. And
Actually, my favorite is Danvi Farms, one of their properties near Kanakpura, because it's so much close to the nature. It's so difficult for us to differentiate what's a farm and what's the forest, right?
Correct.
So please continue.
So that is one thing, and the customers to see get the aesthetically designed forest which will have fruit forest and medicinal plants and flowering plants. It's a combination which we have created with a lot of principles in it.
Tell me something. You call Hosachiguru Farms as food forest. What's the idea behind food forest? Why do you call it food forest?
Yeah. So the thing is, when we are creating the farms, we create with biodiversity in its place. So which will have combination of fruit forests, especially in Madhuvana, a lot of mango plants are there. So we will be replacing some of the mango plants with fruit plants like what do you call custard apple, sapota, and other things. Host of a list of plants will be putting. So get a combination of fruits throughout the year. And apart from that, you will have flowering plants, and you will also have medicinal plants.
Medicinal. It's basically a very diverse family of fruits, vegetables, and other medicinal plants, is what you're saying.
Correct.
So when we call food forest, there's also something called as monoforest over here. What is monoforest exactly?
Yeah. So most of the farmers, standard farmers, do a block plantation of same variety of plant for a large area. What happens is when there is a pest or disease that attacks them, a block of plants will get affected and it will not be very sustainable. So when we are doing it in a permaculture way, we do a combination of multiple plant species. So we have emergent plants which are very tall, and we have tall plants. We also have small plants and high plants. And there are also combination of fruit plants, medicinal plants, and what do you call plants in different what do you call combination.
Okay. Talking about monoforest, right? You mentioned the word called perma culture.
Correct.
The term is very fascinating for me to understand more about it. What does it? Is it about the architecture of the entire farm plot that you
see? As you can see in the video, the soil is the basic for the plants to grow well. So what we do is we add a lot of biochips, wood chips, and dry leaf, and fertilizer, that is farm-made manure, which are all natural into the plant, the pits, so that the biodiversity goes up, and that improves the soil quality. When soil quality improves, the plants will be stronger. Now that way, the soil is taken care, in particular in Madhubana forest.
When you're speaking, I see a lot of passion in you. You have great interest about studying plants, the plants around it that is required to, kind of support each other. So how did you develop this passion towards agriculture? Because I see a hardcore techie in you. From techie to soil, a soul to soil connection. How did it happen?
So it gradually was there internally, but it gradually came out as a vision that we need to do something which is nature-based, not chemical-based. So that is where we went in very deep in creating a forest which is nature-based, which is permaculture principle-based. It took time, but we were constantly traveling towards that.
Fantastic. Permaculture is something that I really enjoyed in all the Hosachiguru farms, because they're so aesthetically designed for all the seasons. They calculate the wind, the direction, the soil, and the kind of plants, trees, fruits, whatever is grown around, right? It's so well designed. Having said that, something that really intrigues me in all the Hosachiguru farms is the kind of property that you select, or the place that you select. What are the qualities that are involved in assessing the land before you procure them?
Yeah, first is the we do a report called environmental report, which is a very detailed one, which includes the report study on climate, which includes rain, which includes weather, temperature, sunlight, and then it also involves topography of the soil, land. It also involves the water flows and flora and fauna of the area. All these make a very integral part of our design. So we document it, and we have a 50-page report available only for Madhuvana. Now that document becomes stepping stone for all our team members to do whatever they are going to do in the farm. So that way, we select the plants, we select the basal dose, we select every decision, where a guest house should come, where a road should come, where a water body should come. Everything is designed based on the environmental report, what we have created.
Actually, I was going through that deck of 50 pages that he mentioned, and I found a very interesting term, which is very important in farming. That is soil enrichment.
Correct.
How do you manage to keep the soil enriched all the time? What's the methodology behind it? Can you please explain?
Correct. There is a concept called regenerative farming. So this means you should set up the environment such that the soil is enriched permanently. So that requires what you call providing carbon, improving the carbon matter in the soil. So that is done by adding wood chips, dry matter, and format manure into the soil, and that creates the environment for the microclimate to develop there. And when you do a planting there, then it does not require any external input anymore. And we also have a combination of productive plants and supporting plants. Now, productive plants includes your fruit plants, and you have what you call like mango, sapota, and other plants. And we also have flower plants, and we also have herbs. Now, apart from that, equal number of support plants are there, which improves the helps in growth of the productive plants. For example, casuarina. It fixes the nitrogen and improves the soil quality. At the same time, it is sacrificial. So we sacrifice that so that the productive plant grows faster. Similarly, there are so many interventions that we do to improve the soil quality continuously.
So you mean to say there is a lot of science behind how the plants are placed next to each other, right?
Correct.
Because they help each other. One is rich with nitrogen, another one is rich with carbon dioxide, stuff like that, right?
Correct.
I can go on and on with Mr. Ashok because he loves educating people, and I think that's how he's educated his entire team. And trust me, whoever you talk to at Hosachigiru, they know so much about agriculture. They know so much about farming. Hats off to you and your efforts, sir. And I'm sure you have another partner who helped you cherish all these dreams and build a fantastic lifestyle-based company, right? And on that note, before we unveil this 22nd project of Hosachigiru, what would you like to say?
See, I want to just say that, conclude by saying that the experience of whatever we have done in the last 21 projects and all the best practices, that details that needs to get into the project has been incorporated in while doing the design of this project. So the customers of this project will get all the benefits on the platter.
I just want to highlight one point, right? When you say experience of 21 projects, that also very subtly conveys a message that there have been a lot of learnings. I don't term it as failures, but learnings. So how does Team Hosachigiru take learnings to their heart on an everyday basis?
So any new venture, when you are especially doing in an area like agriculture, you will get shocks. We have got our shocks in the initial projects. So our team, our partners and our customers have supported us very well in terms of the transformation and converting the learnings into our strength. So it has been a journey more than a decade, and we have just continuously learning and improving our processes.
Actually, Madhuvana Farms is what we are talking about today. And today's conversation with Mr. Ashok is as sweet as Madhu. Right? Thank you so much for being here. We have your other teammates who will be joining us in the next couple of minutes. But before that, I have a few things to say. Hosachigiru, when you say lifestyle, right? It's not about having a property. It's about living with the property. Let me give you an example. Recently, I visited one of their farms, and they celebrated Sankranti, they celebrated Independence Day, they celebrated a lot many things that we usually don't get to see authentically in a urban concrete jungle that we are living in, right? So this gives me a lot of curiosity to go and engage with the farm, or to go and involve myself in doing all the farm activities around. And not just that, there are a lot of artists, there have been painters who come and get inspired in all these plots. And Versace is known for working and collaborating with artists, somebody like me. They have sponsored our project Nayaka with Vinayaka, where we bring inspiring people and inspiring stories every week. And this talks a lot about brand, where they truly believe in inspiring people with great human interest stories. And with me right now, one of the finest speakers and orators, and no doubt he's created an empire called Versace. One of the founder members and the managing director, Mr. Sriram, is with me. Hello.
Hi, Vinayak. It's always a pleasure to be with you. You bring so much energy.
Oh, thank you so much. And I must say, the kind of innovative ideas that Versace and the team brings to the table, right? It's not about boasting about oneself, but it truly puts me in awe every single time. Because you being the face of technology, you being the man who goes land shopping, right? It's very interesting for me to have a conversation with you. So to start off with, I want to ask Madhuvana, being the center of the entire event today, what's the highlight of owning a plot in Madhuvana?
See, there are many highlights. I would like to kind of summarize that into three aspects. One is the environment, second is the experience, and third is the economics. So when I say environment, there are lot of development is happening all around. And we know the destruction caused because of pollution and population and all of that. There are many layouts that are in the outskirts of Bangalore or most cities that has been developed decades ago, but yet not a single home is come up there.
Correct.
And the land is converted from its true sense to a different purpose, and it's been forcefully put on you, right? And people did not had a choice. I mean, not that people didn't want to buy or own a farm then, but there was no product as such. But here in Madhuvana, what happens? The owners, the co-farmers who own, they are actually taking that piece of land under their care. They're growing trees and they're positively contributing to the environment. They're contributing to the soil enrichment, water sustainability and carbon sequestration, a whole host of things. So environmentally, it is adding value to oneself and to the nature. So that's one big value addition. Second is the experience. We call it as wealth of experience. It's not just one, because if you go to a layout, which is, we call it as ghost town, and I want to take a cue from what Srinath used to say, right? If you go to an empty layout, can you ever take a selfie there? There's nothing. There's no aspiration. There is no inspiration, and there's no experience. But whereas when you come to your farm, there are curated trees that you decided to plant, right? Our agronomy team has created a curated list based on what you can grow, and based on that large list, you get to decide. That means our co-farmers get to decide what trees they are growing. So when they come to their farm, they know it's cherry-picked. People say, right, in those days when I went to my grandmom's place, I used to climb a guava tree and all of that. But those days are gone. But we can create that days, right? You have a farm, you are growing trees of your choice, and it's a great experience for our co-farmers to be in the farm and enjoy an experience.
When you say climbing a tree, it reminds me that I don't have trees anymore around my house, so all I can climb is the compound and jump towards my neighbor's house.
But not with Versace farm. You can always come back there.
Absolutely. Actually, when you were explaining me, right, there was a very interesting point. Versace is pioneers in doing managed farm plots. I can own my own plot, right? I can buy a piece of land and do my own farm. But what are the challenges that you see as an individual if I want to do it? What do you think are the challenges, and how does Versace offer a solution to it?
Exactly. I mean, you asked a very, very important question. So, when you say you can own a farm plot, you can obviously own. We call it as a standalone farm. So you are in the center of everything, and you have to really manage the farm all by yourself. You have an active day job somewhere, but you have to tend to your farm. You have to arrange for labor, fertilizer. You don't know whether the trees are growing well or not. So then You have to always be there. And you also don't have the economies of scale. Say, let's say you have a farm of half acre or quarter acre, then bringing all those services to that and bringing all your energy, it's way too expensive. And eventually you get tired. And that's what we have seen as a trend in our co-farmers. They have their own small piece of lands elsewhere, but they've not been able to manage well. They say, we are happy to sell that off and buy a farm here where it is part of a big, farm where everything is so aesthetically designed. We call it as SaaS, not software as a service, but everything is designed in the principles of sustainability, in terms of right architecture and the scientific principles. So they get a whole host of things.
You said cherry picked, right? That's the key word that I'm going to pick and frame my next question. One of my favorite properties is Dharni. Right. And I personally enjoyed my stay at Eco Habitat, Abhivruddhi. And all these farms are so unique by itself, right? The demography, the nature around it is so unique by itself. So I keep calling him, he goes land shopping, right? So how do you cherry pick all these locations? And specifically when it comes to Madhubana, what's the uniqueness about it?
See, it's a teamwork. It's almost impossible for one person to do anything, right? Because land never comes to you. You have to go to land. And land is spread all over and the world is big. So we get a lot of leads. Buying land is the most difficult part. When it comes to cherry picking, there are two aspects to it. One is the character of the land itself, and the second is the nearby attractions. So when it comes to Madhuvana farm, the character of the land is beautiful, like Ashok explained earlier. It gives you the feel of a savanna grasslands. The terrain is beautiful. Black bucks come in plenty there. There is a lake next to it. So the soil has to be right. You can't do anything without the soil being right, water source being right. If everything is there and if you don't have labor, then it's a big challenge. So labor has to be right. Accessibility has to be right. Appreciation potential has to be right. So we have a big checklist before we buy land, right? Many times we can't choose, but we stand by to that checklist and not go by the emotions and make sure we pick the right land for our customers and they can, own and enjoy all the benefits of it. So that's one aspect of it.
No, we have not hundreds, but in thousands, almost 1,600 registrations today for this unveiling ceremony. And we have so many people on live today watching us. And if you're enjoying this conversation, give me a double thumbs up. And on that note, I have a very interesting question, right? Buying a piece of agricultural land is extremely difficult when it comes to documentation, right? And Versace Group have developed farms not in one state, but more than 3 states. More than 1,300, 1,400 acres of land have been procured and successfully, without any errors, documentation, legal errors, you have created so many sale deeds and so many happy customers is all I can say. So how do you make this entire process foolproof? And how do you basically make this a hassle-free experience for the customer when it comes to documentation?
See, before I even answer this question in greater detail, I would like to say, as Versace Group, we tell our customers 100% refund. I repeat, 100% refund if they find any legal issues in the land that we buy.
No stars, 100% refund, right? No stars here, no conditions.
No star. That's why I repeat it twice. That's because of the process and the confidence and the belief we have in our processes and the team that is curating the land for us. We make sure all the documents are verified. See, we have executed about 850 sale deeds, 1,500 plus agreements in 47 or 49 plus government offices. There is a big team that is actually doing all of this. And so that based on that experience and what we have delivered, we are very confident. But not just that, the process itself, we interview people, we, go to the documents from the year 1947 onwards, ever since independence came. If you go by the rule book, you just need 30 years of history. But we go beyond that. We try to understand the history of the land from the year 1947 and make sure our customers don't buy. And first of all, we buy everything, we put upfront capital. There's a lot of cost to it. If you get that wrong, then a lot of things can go wrong for us and for our customers. So we make sure it is absolutely right. They don't buy I mean, we don't buy any land which is grant land or any has certain conditions or anything like that. Notwithstanding that, there's a paralegal services team, that work with all the departments, and because there is a lot of efflux, right? So many years and decades have gone by, you may not get all the documents that are there, but we do the due diligence to make sure there is no big red mark there, and our customers are at peace.
I mean, this leads me to a very curious question. What's the team size of Versace Group?
Well, we have crossed the century in the head office, but if you look at our farming operations and team elsewhere, I think we are about 300 plus.
Mhm.
Not talking about the secondary team, the contracting team, and all of that, but it's a large team, and we're very happy to.
No, I mean, I must tell that Versace Group office is one of the best offices that I have seen. So vibrant, such good work culture here. Their command center, where we are going live, is specifically meant for them to monitor a lot of aspects that activities happen that around the farm, right?
Right.
So, talking about the technology, I am a big fan of this innovation. That is, first is talking lands. Remotely, you can cherry pick the kind of plot that you want. So first tell us about talking lands and then about the My Farm app, please.
Sure. I mean, talking lands, for all the people who are registered today here, you can visit hosachiguru.talkinglands.com. We have listed all our projects, farms there, the completed ones, the ongoing ones, and the upcoming ones as well, right? Our idea is to bring in as much transparency as possible. So today being the Madhuvana launch, I think it's on the top left corner. You click that, where are all our projects located. You click on the Madhuvana thing, and then the Madhuvana layout comes up on a map so beautifully that it is the layout, the entire plots come up on the map to actual size, scale, and shape. All the plots are listed there. People can click that and discover based on price, based on size, based on facing, and they can just send in an inquiry form right from there without talking to anybody else.
Basically, it's like a virtual tour of your own property that you can actually see on a bird's eye view, right?
Absolutely. You can see the pictures, you can see the videos, 360 degrees, everything there. It's a live thing. And as the farm progresses, we keep updating the pictures so that customers can see the project remotely, and when they go to the farm, they see what exactly they've seen digitally, right?
This is about how we can cherry pick and buy a plot. And
Right.
Once you buy a plot, right, how do you remotely manage it? That's the question. And there's a fantastic app called My Farm app. I've tried and tested this quite a few times, and it's almost accurate every single time. So there are some IoT sensors that are deployed in most of the farms. They give inputs continuously, and they also manually input a lot of data on an everyday basis on this My Farm app. So tell us more about My Farm app, please.
See, once a co-farmer buys the farm, I mean, they get an access to this exclusive app called My Farm app, again, developed by us. So they get to know their documentation status, whether they have done the LOI, whether they have done the sale agreement, sale deed, all of that status is getting updated. They know which survey number they have bought, where their land is located. This is on the documentation part. The second part is, what's happening in their specific plot. When did the irrigation happen? When the weeding happened? They get almost real-time pictures. We're still trying to evolve. There is a lot more for us to go to. If it's raining in the farm, they know it's been rained. If there is irrigation, fertilizers applied, they know it. So they're always in touch. The farm comes to their farms through the app, and they can also book the cottages using the My Farm app. The entire experience is delivered through the My Farm app.
Exactly. That's the beauty of Versace Group. When you own a piece of land, you just don't own a piece of land. You also own a piece of lifestyle that you can adapt to your everyday living or weekend living. They have fantastic cottages. They have a chicken run. They have a goshala. They have so many amenities where you can go and engage yourself apart from your land on a weekend, weekday, whatever basis is comfortable for you. Having said that, this leads me to the last question to Sriram. So what's the principle and design behind the Madhubana's cottages that you're building in this Madhuvana farms?
See, we have a in-house design team and projects team. They spend time in the farm. The principle has been to create a modern-looking structure, but it's very vernacular in nature. And it should really suffice the needs of the entire family, their pets. It should be event-friendly. And it's all built in the sustainability principles. So, for example, if you go to look at Sambrama Farm, we found a large boulder stone there. So we use that to make our foundation. If you look at our Abhiruddhi retreat, the entire roof is using 35 to 40% less concrete, but yet more stylish and yet more stronger, like that. But Madhuvana, coming to it, it's modern yet vernacular, and it suits the landscape of Madhuvana.
It's quite, I mean, you're building up that curiosity in me to go and check out this place ASAP. But before that, I want to conclude this conversation with one last question. If I want to buy Madhuvana, if I want to buy a plot at Madhuvana, why?
I mean, I've said many reasons, but I would like to probably put it this way, right? If at all you want to buy land, don't wait to buy land. Buy land and wait for it to become a legacy and create a legacy for you. And let that be Madhuvana.
He rightly said it before. The land won't come to you. You have to go to the land. And on that note, thank you so much, Sriram, for having a fantastic conversation with us. We have another inspiring personality who is another pillar of Versace Guru, because he is the brain behind so many activities that you see. Recently, they had an event called Colorathon. So many artists came together and they engaged themselves with so many paintings and a lot of artistic perspectives at the farm. And be it that or be it a Sankranti celebration, so much of activity happening, so much of life around it. Let me introduce another key pillar and the CEO of Versace Guru, Mr. Srinath Shetty. Hello, namaskara.
Namaskara, sir.
How are you doing?
First class.
Looking bright and happening.
Thank you so much.
You must be a very happy person today because
Indeed.
it's 22nd project that you're unveiling today, right? So let me get to the point straight away. And please tell me, you call your customers as co-farmers,
Yes.
right? I'm here, I'm talking to you, but I have a piece of plot at Versace Guru and you call me a co-farmer. How do you call a customer co-farmer?
So we always want to give a term to our customer, right? From the farm admi, we thought of farm admi, we thought of urban farmer. But then we realized,
Farm admi, nice one.
yeah. So, but then we realized that, the customer who comes to us has a certain vision, right? And as Versace Guru, as a team, we fulfill that vision. So for instance, if you take in parallel a co-founder, right? He has a able team to fulfill his vision. Likewise, we honestly believe that at Versace Guru, we have an amazing team to fulfill the vision of our customer, and hence we call him a co-farmer. That's the idea behind calling our customers as a co-farmer. More importantly, there's a sense of belongingness to him, right? That he is plowing with us. So that is the whole idea, and it's worked very well. A lot of our customers in their LinkedIn profiles, they put themselves as co-farmers, right? So you can become a co-farmer today at Madhuvana.
So that leads me to another interesting question. See, I am an investor, right? I'm looking at investment opportunities. And how is Versace Guru different than any other conventional investment that I do on an apartment or a site or any other plot, right? So how is it different from any of this?
Right. We'll come to the investment aspect of it. See, one is that, whenever we buy anything, the whole idea of buying it is two reasons, right? One is to experience it. Second, that it should grow. These are the two aspects that we look at buying stuff, right? A lot of people go on putting their money in hope that something would give them happiness. And this is one such product. But when it comes to investment, we have to be very cautious about where we are putting our money. Now, if you look at when you put 100 rupees in a typical urban real estate, say an apartment or a plot, right? How much of that money is actually going into land? A lot of that money is actually going into cement. So for instance, you're buying an apartment, say you put 100 rupees, perhaps 20 rupees is going into a land, and then 80 rupees is going into construction. And that construction actually depreciates. For instance, look at Jayanagar, right? You'll find an apartment at 6,000 rupees a square feet, such a prime location in 40 block. There is an apartment called Usha's apartment, which is 35 years old, but at 6,000 rupees a square feet because the building is gone, right? The same place, a new apartment is at 18,000 rupees a square feet because the building is new. So the underlying value, which is the land, is only 20% when it comes to an apartment, and that tends to depreciate. Not just that you pay yearly taxes. If there is no occupancy, you continue to pay your maintenance for that. And there is really nothing enjoyment that there's no real enjoyment that you can have, even if it's a plot for that matter, right? A 40, 60 or 30, 40. If you want to invest at 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, you will have to go to really far off places. I mean, typically an hour away from the city. And like Sriram said earlier, these are all ghost towns. There is hardly any houses there. You can't even go take a selfie. You will see one road which is all deteriorated over a period of time, and they just sit like that, right? There is really no return from there apart from the appreciation. And even there, a lot of money has gone into construction. If there is a plotted development, there are certain amenities today. You fast forward 20 years down the line, those amenities are no more relevant, right? It's not giving you any further. It's not an evergreen asset. So then what would happen is that you would just struggle to get rid of that asset. Right now, in a farmland, when you put in money, 70 to 80% of the money is going into land, which is an appreciating asset. And these are all in the outskirts. The way we choose our lands, like when Sriram spoke about cherry picking the lands, it is not just from a perspective of water, soil, and all of that, but also from a perspective of its ability to grow. These are all in the outskirts, right? And outskirts tend to appreciate a lot faster. Take any city for that matter, right? Bangalore, take Biddi. After Toyota came, the entire place changed. Take Hoskote. After Volvo came, the entire place changed. But you can't expect to go to these places today and expect the same growth that happened in the last 20 years. Devnali is already saturated. That people are going now. The party is over, right? So if you go a little farther, maybe an hour from here or an hour or two from here, perhaps there's a lot more scope. See, what happens is also once it is saturated to a certain level, the growth slowly deteriorates, right? I mean, you can't expect the same level of growth. But if it's at 100, 200, 300 rupees a square feet, you really can expect that growth. So that's where we come from. And so even from an investment perspective, it's a great asset. More importantly, when you have to pass this to your next generation, or even for that matter, when you have to experience it, there is something that you should look forward to from this asset every week or every month, right?
Correct.
And that's what we offer at Farmlands. You've been saying it's a lifestyle centric brand, but we feel it's a life centric product. Okay. We have seen that transform in many ways for our customers. People look at this as their primary homes. Some of them are constructing homes at Rosuchiguru Farms, and we have a full-fledged team to help them do this. So we believe we are a very life centric brand where we ensure that we fulfill this vision of ownership of farmland and make sure that they're engaged through the process, right? It's not just about buying and leaving it, but every week, they get something to look for in terms of vegetables, in terms of fruits that are growing on the farm. They can use this as a weekend home or a retirement home. So this is a lot beyond investment. And at the end of the day, all of us are earning money to experience it. So my 2 cents is that experience it. Don't keep on looking at investments. Land will certainly grow.
Wealth is meant to experience,
yes,
not to be in the bank, right?
Correct.
But having said that, it's all about Madhuvana today. And it's a fantastic property. Mr. Ashok and Sriram have already spoken about it. So here I am taking privilege in launching or unveiling the digital brochure of Madhuvana. And Meghna, can you please present it on the screen so that, yes, that's Madhuvana.
It's a mango, is the highlight there. Yeah.
So sure, please go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, please, you can flip it. Yeah, so it's a taste of life. Like you said, sweetness, there's a lot of sweetness there. We are hoping to build very good mini farm plots, mini food forests in the farm. And what you see on the right-hand side is a lake, which is hardly a kilometer away, less than a kilometer away. It's Tondoti Lake. And apart from this, we have another lake, which is 2 kilometers away. So a lot of water body. We also have the Andriniva Canal, which passes very close to the farm. So from a water perspective, we are very well secured. And there is a huge water integration plan that our team has worked upon to make sure that there's a lot of passive systems of irrigation. Yes, owning it is as easy as picking a fruit. You heard from Sriram. In fact, the entire process is digitized, right? For us, a customer has to come only once to the sub-register office. Everything else is through e-documents, e-sign. So we made it very easy for the customer and hassle-free process. And there are 4 tenants, right? Whenever we do anything, first thing is we make sure the land is secure. All of these lands are something that we have bought as a company. It's registered in the name of the company. We don't deal with others' lands.
So you get a layer of cushioning.
Not a layer of cushioning. See, what happens is when we say we indemnify you, on what grounds, right? A lot of developers, what they do is they sell somebody else's land.
Correct.
Right. And they're not in the picture after the sale is done. So how do you indemnify? At Hosochiguru, we own this land, and this land is transferred from the company to the customer. So that makes it a lot more foolproof for the customer and ensuring that he is completely secure, right? The other aspect is that when we speak about sustainability, Meghna, can you put on that? So when we speak about the previous slide, so you can see on the right side corner down, there are 4 icons, right? So I just spoke about the secure aspect of it. The second is the sustainability aspect of it. So Ashok spoke a lot about soil and water and stuff like that. But right, for us, sustainability is beyond that. Now, how do you ensure that this farmland can continue to operate the way it operates without any hassles for the customer, with or without Hosochiguru? Right? We have thought through that process. We have thought through passive ways of fertilization, passive ways of irrigation, making sure that there's an able team on the ground. If there is a strike, whatever that happens on ground, we don't suffer at any operations at the farm level. So that's what we mean by sustainability. And of course, Shriram also spoke about it being completely tech-enabled, where we have 2 aspects to it. One is while you're buying, the discovery happens through the talking lands. In fact, today there was a little bit of a lag, but I would recommend all of you go on to hosochiguru.talkinglands, look at the various projects that are there. It's a very interesting application. You can filter your plots by size, by facing, by availability. All of those things can be done, and it's self-explanatory. There's a lot of location intelligence data that has been built into the particular application. One is after you bought it, right? This is while buying it. After you bought it, we also have the My Farm app, which gives you real-time updates on what's happening on the farm. So there are no hassles. You don't have to call anybody to figure out what's happening. You want a picture of the farm, you just have to click onto your My Farm app and request it. In case you build a farmhouse, right, and you want the housekeeping services to be done, even that happens to the My Farm app. So we are completely available through tech on the My Farm app. And the most important aspect is the rewards. So we want you to enjoy this farm. It's a wealth of experience, like we mentioned. So these are the 4 aspects of Hosochiguru's promise.
That's great. The next slide, please.
So that is the layout that you see. So the different colors indicate the different sizes. We have quarter acre, we have half acre, we have 1 acre, we have over 240 plots. Today we have already booked 30 plots. Our existing customers have already booked 30 plots. So we have not opened this to outsiders. We'll of course open it now. But a lot of our existing customers have come on board and I've already booked 30 plots. And what you see on the right hand side is the farm center, where we have the Goshala, we have the training center. See, what our whole view is that tomorrow, if the customer wants to manage his own farm plot, we should be able to enable him to manage his own farm plot, right? So we have all the requisite tools in the training center, which is there at the farm center, so that the customer can go manage his own plot, and we make it very easy for him. So what you see also on the left-hand side is the typical model plot, how it is being designed in terms of the syntropic farming aspects.
The next slide, please.
So these are some of the visuals of the retreat center. I think Shriram spoke about its design philosophy. We're very excited because it's very unique the way it has been designed. The best part is it's all been designed by the in-house architecture team. We have about 5 people who work in the architecture team, and they're also designing a lot of customers' farmhouses. And we have a project management team which will help you execute the entire farmhouse if you wish to construct it on your land. Next slide.
But this is digitally available, right? Anybody can
download
it.
So right? we will share the link soon after this webinar. You could view this. Yeah, please go ahead. I think we spoke about the approach that we take, the syntropic aspect. So we try and bring in all the syntropy that we learn about in the forest, so that we create these passive systems. So you also see the different type of trees, right? The emerging trees, the medium trees, the small trees. The idea here is that when we plant these trees, we can achieve maximum productivity while ensuring that there is no competition in terms of sunlight, nutrition, root zone. So all of those aspects have been taken care. So it's a lot of scientifically done kind of a planting methodology that we have evolved over the last 10 years to maximize what can happen.
That's great. I mean, you can download this and you can go through it in detail, but now is the most important part of this entire event. So we want to Parichay our Madhuvana to you, which we did right now. But now we come to the most important aspect, that is, how do I buy this? And what's the cost involved behind this?
Yes.
If you can take us through the costing of this entire project, and if you can help us understand how I can make my dream into a reality of having a piece of farmland.
Yes.
I'd be really, really thankful and happy to hear that from you.
I think the pricing is what you want to hear.
Correct. I was being
Meghna?
very, very decent. Yeah.
Can you put on the pricing, please?
Meghna is the genie here.
Yes.
there you go.
This is one of our most affordable farms. And it's one of the most beautiful farms as well, given that we already have a full-fledged mango orchard. So there are three configurations. You have a quarter acre, which is 10,890 square feet. You have a half acre, which is 21,780 square feet. And you have a full acre. See, these are large chunks of land, unlike your 30, 40 plots, right? These are all 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 kind of square feet. So you may not get them exactly as quarter acre or exactly as half acre. If I mean a quarter acre, it's between 0.24 to 0.375 kind of a acre. And the price for a quarter acre is 120 rupees a square feet. All in all, it would cost you 13,06,800 for a quarter acre. For a half acre, it would cost you 23,95,000. It's 110 rupees a square feet, because the larger you buy, the price goes down. If you buy a 1 acre, it's 100 rupees. It's 99 rupees, because we've been telling everybody it's 99 rupees. We'll give it at 99 for sure. So these are the prices for the three configurations. Now, what does this include? Can you go to the next slide? So this includes the land which is completely planted. It includes all your infrastructure within the land, right? It does not include your farmhouse. You'll have to build it by yourself. I mean, of course, my team can build it for you, but that's at an additional cost. But everything that is required for you to pay for the farmland is included in this, including the plantation, including the irrigation system, including the access to all the common infrastructure and the retreat membership, right? So we are building a very nice retreat there, which will have various things that we just explained. So it includes all of this. And it is not just the land, and only thing that you have to pay extra is the stamp duty and taxes. That is something we all have to pay. We can't help, but yeah, that's the only thing that is included. That's the only thing that's not excluded, but there are no other hidden charges as such, and this price includes all of this.
Fantastic.
Now, I have an interesting thing, right? So one is, we want to make this as easy as possible for the customer. So we decided that we will also give them a 24 months period to make the payment.
So you kind of fund. I don't want to use the word loan, but it's easy EMI for people who want to, kind of make this 13 lakh look as affordable as possible, right? And one more thing, I'm a first timer. If I want to buy this plot for the first time, I want to become a co-farmer for the first time, what would you suggest? Do you think quarter acre will do justice to this?
Of course, see, quarter acre is 10,890 square feet, right? It's a large chunk of land, and when you go there, you'll realize you can grow almost 50 varieties of trees in that. You can live a self-sustainable life within a quarter acre. You don't have to come to the city. You can just stay there. 5G is coming very soon. Diwali, Reliance has already announced it, and Starlink is coming everywhere. So you can just sit out of the farm, be there. A quarter acre is more than enough, and you can pretty much live, a life outside the city.
Fantastic. So there have been a lot of questions. There's a lot of activity buzzing on that Zoom chat box. Thanks for all that activity and interest that you have shown. And now is the golden moment if you want to own a piece of farmland, because there's an offer every product, or there's an inaugural offer, right? So what's the inaugural offer? If I want to buy today, book it right now, what's the offer?
Non-negotiable.
Okay.
Fair. Otherwise, I'll not give the offer.
Okay, there you go.
Please, Meghna. So it's for today and up to 9 September, right? 9 September is when we officially launched the project on ground, but now we are launching it online. So if you're buying a full acre, in addition to whatever you saw in terms of the pricing, you get a 1 lakh additional off. If you're buying a half acre, you get 75,000 rupees off. Nice. And a quarter acre, 50,000 rupees off. So what is 13.06 Vinayak? For you is 12.56, but it's a limited period offer.
Friends and family offer?
All done, non-negotiable, right? So we want to make it as easy as possible. And the other aspect is that, when we sell any project, right, we also kind of, after a while, the price gets increased because the developments would have been done and all of that. So we try and keep this offer for an initial period, or up to the 30 to 40% of the plots get sold. And then after that, we increase it. In this case, I'm not expecting it to go till October, but we already have more than 1,000 people who have registered, 1,600 if I'm right, who have registered here. So I'm hoping that we'll do a good number of sales, and we'll be soon increasing the price to 110, 120, and 130. So before that, would recommend that you book this particular plot.
Absolutely, and don't go anywhere, because now Srinath is going to explain us how you can book a piece of land and what's the process behind it. Please, can you take us through that?
Sure. Meghna, can you just put the next slide? So process is very simple. Go on to Talking Lands first, discover the plot you want to buy, right? Go to hosochiguru.talkinglands.com. you see various projects, go to Madhuvana. I know there are other projects. When you go there, you'll also see, Dhanvi and Samrama in the south, which are our ongoing projects. There are some plots available there. When you go to the north, you have Eco Habitat and, the other farms. The Abhiruddhi and Bristlecone, they're all sold out. You may find some resales, which are available there, but there are hardly 1 or 2 plots. Then there is Eco Habitat, which is also available. And you have Madhuvana, where 80% or 90% of the plots are still available because we just sold 30 today to our existing customers. All that you have to do is choose a particular plot, call your relationship, executive farm consultant. All of you have been, been in touch with somebody or the other from my team. Pick a particular plot, pay 1 lakh rupees and block it till the time you want to go and see it and, verify all of that. You have 15 to 30 days for you to go through the entire process. And once you have blocked it, we do what is known as a letter of intent, right? Where the entire terms and conditions are laid out in terms of what is the ownership that you get, what are the services that we provide. All of those aspects are taken care. And this, once you make the 1 lakh payment, in 30 days, you go ahead and make the balance 40% down payment, which is your, at the time which we do the sale agreement. And then you can convert your balance into an EMI, which is for the next 24 months. And then you get your absolute sale deed done. Now, we don't have to wait for your entire payment to come for us to start the plantation. The moment 40% is done, we start the plantation, and you can also go and enjoy the retreat, the retreat membership. We have some farms very close by where the cottages are already ready. In fact, in Abhiruddhi, in about 2-3 months, we'll have the cottages done. So you can also go and enjoy the, farm stays there. So all of these things, it's a jiffy, and you don't have to come to the office or to any sub-register office. All of this happens online. It is completely digitized through e-sign. So we made it so easy.
So if I'm in America, I can still get it registered through e-sign, right?
Yes. See, eventually you have to come one day for the sub-registrar, but that's one day, right? You figure out which day. But the entire other documents, it can be a couple of months down the line. The entire process for you to start and for you to make sure that activity is begin on ground, you don't have to visit us, you don't have to come to the office. It can all be taken care. But we would love to host you in office. We've made a fantastic office so that
I mean, you don't have to really question their hospitality, because not just at office, you visit any of their farms. Trust me, without any intimation, even if you walk in, you'll get the best hospitality, and I can stand for the entire Hosachiguru team, and that's a promise that I can make blindly. Having said that, we are opening Q&A, question answers. If you have any queries, feel free to drop your message or your questions in the chat box. It's more easier on Zoom. We have a fantastic team, broadcast team, who is curating your questions, and we already have a few of them.
In fact, I just got one question, Vinayak, on WhatsApp. 99 rupees a square feet. What are you doing? How can you do this? Right. So, in fact, I know today 99 rupees a square feet sounds very exciting. For a lot of people, you can't even buy a vitrified tile and lay it, right? A good vitrified tile. We have engineered this entire thing for a long time. We made sure that our processes are such that we are able to cut down costs at various levels without compromising on what we can deliver, right? We go with nature. We don't go against the nature. So it could be in terms of the planning. The detailed environmental study takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time, effort, money, and even our survey team does a thorough job by making sure that at every 3 meters interval, we take care of the entire survey, right? So this helps us in terms of planning all our earthworks, planning everything that we have to do on the ground. Like even our roads are very scientifically done. They're not just done based on the convenience of the plot. It is done based on where the topography is, suited so that we don't have erosion at a later stage. We do a lot of gabions. We do a lot of causeways, bioswales, so that we don't erode our roads, making sure all of these things are done in a very scientific manner at the least cost possible, right?
And you don't take away the beauty of the plot,
yes,
right?
That's right.
That's the most important
That's the most important
because
thing.
You fall in love with the beauty of that place, and when you go and start actually living in that place, you shouldn't feel like, hey, this is not the place I was.
True.
I fell for, right?
True.
Okay. Some quick questions for the next 5 to 8 minutes. We have slots for about 7 to 8 questions. Let me make it really quick. Thank you, Meghna, for all those questions. First, what are the kind of amenities that one can experience at Madhubana farms, specifically at Madhubana farms? This is asked by Purnima. Thank you, Purnima. What do you have to say?
The first thing is you get a food forest, a forest that will never stop giving. Every week, we deliver the vegetables to your home. The veggies and the fruits that are grown there are delivered to your home. Of course, there's an additional cost to it. So it is not just for you, for your generations to come. It can continue to produce the way it has been designed. There is a fantastic retreat center there, which is, cottages, clubhouse, and all of that. In fact, we have a lot of, one is the events that you mentioned where we have hosted Sankranti and all of that, but a lot of co-farmers host events. We have seen birthday parties, we have seen anniversaries, we have even seen engagements happen there.
In fact, I know one of them, there was a mini music festival also that happened
Yes.
there, right? A bunch of people, musicians came together and they jammed their heart out over there.
Sure.
Yeah, and please go ahead.
So you can host anything that you want at your own farmhouse, right? Why go and rent another place, right? Secondly, it's a weekend home. Right? Now today, you go to any resort, they charge you through the nose. Why go somewhere else? You have a fantastic place, just 2 hours drive from the city. Come here, and once you're a member at Hosuchiguru, you can visit all our other farmlands as well. You can go and stay at the other places as well. Apart from that, there are a host of other things. There are machans. This is kind of a fantasy place for photographers.
Correct.
Right? The kind of wildlife in terms of the black bucks, the kind of birds that we see are just unbelievable. So it's a great place for them. And if you want to go stargazing, then it's an even fantastic place. Clear skies. You just go onto the top of the building. You can't even see a single piece of cement anywhere. Right? It's only trees.
And no light pollution.
No light pollution. Yes.
Absolutely.
Right. So you have machans, tree decks, a lot of things. So it's a host of amenities.
No, but when you own a piece of land, it's not like a one-time cost because it involves a lot of maintenance, right?
Yes.
So how does this maintenance work? What's the cost involved behind it?
Yes. So this is mostly like a life-centric aspect. There is a certain maintenance cost involved. There are two aspects to maintenance. I think, Meghna, do you have a slide ready on maintenance? Yeah. So one is, before you go to the next slide, right? Now, if you just look at apartments, right? We all live in apartments. Not that we love to live in a pigeonhole, but the fact is that when we live there, we get access to a lot of amenities. It could be swimming pool, clubhouse, security 24/7. And all of these are available at about 7,000 or 8,000 rupees a month. Imagine you are an independent bungalow owner, right? So it is highly impossible for you to have a swimming pool. And even if you had it, maintaining it is a challenge, right? Not just a swimming pool, it could be even security. If you just have one security guard, one shift, you pay him 20,000, that guy is always on his mobile. There's nobody to monitor him. It becomes a challenge. But if you look at an apartment or a society, you have all of these guys 24/7 at your access, and yet you pay only one-fifth or 1/10 the price, right? Because there's a larger community. Likewise, when Sriram mentioned about owning a farmland which is half acre, 1 acre, we have seen these, for instance, the irrigation supplier, right? If you go to a good quality irrigation supplier like a Netafim or a Rivulis, which are from Israel, the guys don't even touch your farmland if it's less than 30 acres. Right? And even if it's 30 acres, you literally have to beg them to come and service you because they want repeat business. They only go after institutional buyers. Now, as a team, they all run behind us because we have multiple farms. So one is we're able to leverage, because of the scale at multiple farms, we're able to leverage resources from multiple farms. Today I have a shortage of, say, pruners here. I get them from another farm. Today I have a shortage of, say, my supervisor. I make sure that there are other farms. There's an ecosystem that is built in, right? So we're able to leverage the scale, and literally the cost could be as low as 20-25% if compared to that of your own independent ownership, right? So coming back to the maintenance, there are two aspects to the maintenance. Meghna, can you just put up that slide? Yeah, I hope you can see it. There are two aspects to maintenance. One is your farm plot maintenance. The other is your common area, right? Now, the common area is compulsory, like how we have in our apartments, the security, the roads, the water system, the clubhouse, your Goshala, the farm center, all of these are kind of compulsory. And if you own a quarter acre, in about 19,000 rupees, you can take care of your entire common area maintenance. And for the half acre and the 1 acre, it's already listed there. You can view that. We'll also share this presentation if you're interested. And subsequently, if you want us to take care of your farm plot as well, that's additional 19,000 rupees. So in all, in about 39,000 rupees, you can manage your quarter acre per annum. This is per annum, right? And the 39,000 rupees is nothing because you get access to so many stuff, and you get access to food. Perhaps if you have to buy that itself would cost you at least about 50-60K a year. So you pretty much offset your entire maintenance. And if you grow some timber trees there, maybe a sandalwood, maybe some teak or something like that, there could be some sort of a passive income at the last tenure. But the idea is to make sure that whatever you're paying here, you experience it in terms of food that is grown for your own self. And we also have the retreat. One is you can pay as you use. Whenever you come there, you can pay it, but you can also buy a package, right? And these are nothing short of a 3 to 4 star kind of a retreat. So if you want to say take a package for 6 credits, it's about 9,600 rupees for a quarter acre. If you're a half acre owner, then you're eligible for 9 credits. If you're a 1 acre owner, you're eligible for 12 credits. But all of these are optional. The only thing that is compulsory is your common area maintenance. And what we would recommend is, because the initial times when the plants are growing, right, there's a lot of work in terms of pruning, compost application. For the first 5 years, we would recommend that you allow the company to manage your farm plot. But after that, you can manage it by yourself. All that you need to do is come once in a month, spend about 6 or 7 hours. We'll give you all the requisite tools and training so that you can manage your own farm plot. It's all about pruning, nothing beyond that, because the kind of systems that are being set up are, passive irrigation systems and passive fertilization systems, where you don't require too much of our involvement, and you require a little bit of work that you can do on ground. And I'm sure you'll enjoy that experience too. So at about 19,000 rupees a year, a quarter acre is done.
I see so much of passion when he's explaining about all of these things, right? Thank you, Irfan, for that fantastic question. We have last couple of questions, like about 4 questions I can take maximum. Let's try and cover as many questions as possible. And what about security? Who's looking after this place? I think he partially answered that question, but to go in detail, how would you manage the security of a farm plot?
So we have in-house security, right? In every farm we have farm dogs that are patrol at the night. Just apart from that, we have almost around 20 odd farm hands living on the farm. We have a full-fledged hospitality team living on the farm. We have farmers living on the farm. See, we don't depend on daily laborers, right? One of the biggest question mark for most people is, how do you manage labor, right? You don't go and ask Uber, how do you manage drivers? There's an ecosystem that is set up, right? Likewise, at Hosochiguru, we have an ecosystem set up to manage laborers. Like if you look at our farm hands, they get fantastic houses to live in. They get food. They get all the benefits in terms of ESI or medical facilities. And we have lovely co-farmers who literally pamper our farm hands, right? Let it be their old saris to, new toys. Everything comes to our farm hands. So they are like a pampered lot. They're always available. They don't have to worry about, today I'll get a job, tomorrow I don't have another job. They're in the farmhouse, in the farmlands. And because it's completely in-house for us, we don't have challenges in managing situations like, suddenly we have a flood situation, right? Our team is up running there, right? We don't have labor shortage. So from that perspective, we make sure that, that is taken care, and they are the security on ground. They live there. So it's a fantastic place. Plus, a lot of co-farmers constructing homes. So we have CCTV surveillance, we have farm dogs, nothing to worry about.
Community.
In fact, I would tell you one thing, they're a lot more safer to live in the farm than live in the city.
That question was by Nayana, and Vasudha has another question, I think, about legal titles. I think Sriram and Srinath both spoke in depth about that. So if you really want to go in deep with respect to legal and titles, all you have to do is get in touch with our team, and you can go back as much as possible for the original documents is what they have said. And I think all available access to original documents. They can come to the office, see the original documents, right? And all of that is shared through the Google Drive so that they can get access to them. We have legal opinions. We also, not just that, right? For their comfort, like say in one survey number, you have bought the land and you have done your legal due diligence, and another customer is buying. We link up the customer so that they understand the risks involved, right? And if anybody says, I want to get in touch with customers, say in another farm, in fact, our database is so huge, we have more than 1,000 plus co-farmers. Say if you're working in one company, more or less, we'll have somebody else in that company who's already bought, and we are happy to share the details. Fantastic. So last 3 questions. What about electricity?
Yeah.
How do you manage to give electrical lines or the meter consumption? How do you calculate all of that?
So there are 2 aspects to electricity. In fact, before I get into electricity, any of our farms, before we start, we make sure that the borewells are dug, the electricity is obtained, the fencing is done, right? Because I say this because a lot of developers just showcase land plainly without any of these in places. And a lot of times, these are remote locations. So you can't get electricity like in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It takes a lot of time for you to get electricity. I've known of some of the farms where some of the customers have come to me and said, sir, I bought a land at 2018 with these guys. Not even a single plant has been done there because there's no electricity, right? At Hosochiguru, we make sure all of these checkboxes are already ticked. So if you come to Madhuvana, there is electricity, there is generator backup, there is borewells that are dug, water is established, and the fencing is completely done, Hadbast is done. So there is no ambiguity, there is no external dependency, right? Now, when I speak about electricity, there are 2 aspects to it. One is the electricity for the common areas, right? It could be your borewells, it could be your clubhouse and all of that. That is already in place, it's obtained. And whatever charges we incur are charged to the common area maintenance, which I've already told you, right? Now, if you're building a farmhouse, right, we assist you in getting the electricity through the department. There is an additional charge. right? But the entire facilitation is done by the company, right? We would have installed the requisite capacity as and when required, but whatever is the additional cost that is involved with the department, that we kind of apply to the co-farmer, and that is done. That happens only after you get an approval for your farmhouse. So you want to build a farmhouse, we get the approval done through the local panchayat, and only then we can go to the department and apply for electricity. So electricity is something that the department has to give, right? We can't distribute electricity. One. Second, for your domestic consumption, we have a separate water line, which is metered, and that is provided. We have sufficient water here. We have 2 lakes, we have canal, we have amazing yielding borewells, so that's not a problem at all. So water is available.
I mean, all I can say is if you have a thought, they have a support system ready for you. And this is not just on paper. There are so many happy customers, co-farmers who are experiencing this. If you find time, if you know somebody, please talk to them once, and you can reassure yourself that all of these that is said here is provided to you up to the best. And is Madhuvana Farms pet friendly? Yes, it is pet friendly. All the Versace Group farms are mostly pet friendly. Yes.
All the farms, you can get your pet, you can leave them free at the farm. Even our dogs are trained to make sure that they interact with other pets.
Fantastic. Is there a Goshala here?
There is a Goshala.
Okay.
And only desi cows. A lot of our customers have adopted cows. You too can adopt a cow, but there's a limit. We only have 10 cows per farm. So you can adopt a cow if you're interested.
Okay, last 2 questions. This is by Abhijit. That is, after we book a farm plot, what is the next process? What documents do we have to provide?
Yeah.
And what are the process? Can you please help us?
So like I said, go to Talking Lands, choose your plot, pay 1 lakh. Then we send you the LOI, letter of intent, right? Which has all the terms and conditions that are listed. At any point of time you want to cancel, after the sale agreement, at any point of time you want to cancel, you get a 100% refund. There is no questions asked. You get a 100% refund within 3 days.
And all the money that you see on the screen, you don't have to pay it in one shot. They already said there are easy 24 installments that Versace Group will help you fulfill that commercial needs in happy installments is all I can say. Can I visit the site tomorrow? You
can visit the site tomorrow. But what I would also recommend is when you guys go to visit the site, right? See, it's a 2-hour drive from the airport, from the international airport. I mean, we drive in 90 minutes, but for a first timer, maybe it's 2 hours. And we have other farms close by, which are completed, right? Which will give you a full sense of what we do. So there is Abhiruddhi. It's a 300-acre farm, which was started about 3 years back. And you get a sense of how the development is going to take place once you visit that farm. You also have Eco Habitat on the way. I would recommend you visit both the farms. In Madhuvana, most of the works are done. The roads have been marked. Because of the rains, there has been a slight delay in laying the roads, but as you go, you will see the roads are also being done. We have all the equipment in place, provided it does not rain in the next 3 days. Rains are something which are out of our control, but we try and utilize the maximum water that comes out of the rain.
So Pavitra, I hope we answered your question. Not only you and your family can be our guest at Versace Group is what I can say. Yes. And last question, if I want to cancel, what's the process? Will I get my money back?
Of course, 100%. No questions asked.
No questions
but,
asked.
Vinayak, before this is the previous question, right? We are also looking to arrange transport facility because we have got a lot of requests, from co-farmers. So we have 5-6 vehicles which ferry customers. But next week on Sunday and Saturday, we're looking to kind of arrange a larger TT so that customers can go visit the farms in large numbers. So that facility will be available, provided the customers can, let us know in advance if they would like to visit the next weekend. We'll have that organized.
Please pre-book your seats today and experience the farmland that you want to own. And trust me, it's worth investing that time. And on that note, I want to conclude this conversation. It was a fantastic conversation. And Versace Group has a very progressive tagline: own, grow, cherish. So what's the idea behind this, Srinath?
So one is own a farm, which is the dream for everyone. 99% of the tech guys today have it that they want to retire in a farmland. Why retire? Own it right now, right? Experience it right now. Don't wait for that time, right? That time will never come. Grow life. Grow not just life on the ground, which is trees. Grow your life in the farm, right? Because there are a lot of things that can happen over the farm. It's a very nostalgic feeling when at least for me, when I go to the farm, especially if you look at my childhood, I've grown in a village. All my holidays have been in a village, and it's been a fantastic experience climbing trees and stuff like that. And that is something that our children miss today, or for that matter, sleeping under a mango tree is something that, I always fantasize, and that is something that you can always live here. So grow your life, grow the trees, and cherish farm life. Life is short, so cherish it as much as possible.
Own, grow, cherish. It's important that we own what we feel, and we also work towards what we dream. And it's necessary that we grow with our dreams, with our thoughts, with our feelings. And finally, when you accomplish it, that's what you cherish, the happiness. So on that note, thank you so much for a fantastic session. Thank you, team. Hey, make some noise. Whoa! That's our team. A lot of people, a lot of effort behind this. 20-second farm is what that you saw today. And I hope you get to fulfill your dreams of owning a piece of farmland and become a co-farmer today. Trust me, it's a life-centric brand, and you can definitely build your life around this. And on that note, my name is Vinayak Joshi. I'm signing off. See you soon at the farm. Bye-bye. See ya. Whoa, whoa, whoa.